Doc Loves the Kids, a local Kitsap County nonprofit organization established in 2015, whose mission is to provide activities, programs, and community support for at-risk youth.
They put the U in community.
Doc Loves the Kids.
Welcome to Uncommon Courtesy,
where we give you the courtesy of conversation
that's uncommonly spoke of.
I'm D-Mac.
I'm Wesley.
And this is the show. Thanks for everybody for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Hold on, ding. Anyways, don't forget to catch us every 7 p.m. at Friday Pacific time, the Friday Fix.
The Friday Fix.
Yeah, come on through. There's no politics. We just talking. We want to hear your crazy week stories. We want to talk and see what you do talking about. Bands getting thrown, whatever. Anyways, and then our Sunday show, still to be named.
To be named. But it's 1 p.m. Pacific time. Come check us out. We were talking nothing but politics, the week in politics. We're recapping everything that we talked about for the week and anything that may have popped up that day.
And I want you guys to tell us your interpretation of the news and what you see too.
Absolutely.
We love your insight. Just coming to the live stream, just ask to come in. We'll send you a link.
It's an opportunity for you to kind of give your opinion.
A secured link.
Absolutely. Well, this week in politics, I feel like we have something going on right now that's of major importance for us to talk about. So Elon Musk's political influence wears down global resistance to Starlink. The global wall of resistance to Elon Musk's satellite business is crumbling. Even before Musk spent more than $250 million to help Donald Trump retake the U.S. presidency, SpaceX Starlink was picking off swaths of the world country by country. Now worries that the world's richest person could subvert sensitive state-run telecommunications channels around the globe are being replaced by attempts by government officials trying to tap economic incentives from Musk's industrial complex of companies. Musk's new role makes it harder for some governments to resist Starlink, yet it creates more tensions for others, such as Taiwan, that are resisting the service. With SpaceX chief executive officer already making his political presence felt alongside Trump on calls with foreign leaders, authorities everywhere are reckoning with how much further to open the doors to Starlink.
Yeah, I like that. How Taiwan's like, I ain't messing with you.
You can't. They already, if you really look at them, they're already set up. They have a lot of different types of AI. And they're pretty tech savvy over there heavily. They don't need him. And they don't want him. They understand that his ties with China right now. I know we have a video we're going to show, but his ties with China right now are pretty much his entire wealth is wrapped up in China. So what do you think that he's willing to do to keep himself in a situation to where he can stay the richest man? He's
a dangerous man. We're going to play you this video with it's Steve Bannon from his show War Room. It's just a little clip. We're going to show that. We're going to watch it together so everybody can see it.
Elon Musk, once again, brother, I'm smart enough to tell you no to your face, and I'm evil enough to be able to expose you as a running dog for the greatest enemy this nation's ever had. You're a war profiteer. You're sleeping with the enemy, brother, and you've been doing it because you're not an American nationalist. You're not even an American. All you are is a globalist, okay? A globalist.
We've been saying that about this dude for quite some time.
That's pretty crazy, actually. You're not even American. It's like that movie Mean Girls when dude was like, she doesn't even go here.
And he also went on to say in that same segment right there, he talked to him about China. He's telling him that all of your money is wrapped up in China. You're sleeping. What he meant by saying sleeping with the enemy is he's telling them that, hey, as soon as we cut you off, it says it in that clip as well. As soon as we cut you off, America cut you off, you ran to China and you begged them for money. And that's why you have an EV plant that you have built over there. And all of your money, 100% of your wealth is wrapped up into that plant. What do you think that he's willing to do? Remember when Trump first came into office, his first enemy was China. We put huge tariffs on China. We had a huge trade war with China. This time, all of a sudden, now that Elon Musk is pretty much running the show, who did he invite to the White House into the presidential inauguration? Xi of China, the president of China. Why is that? Why are we now trying to cozy up to Xi like we cozied up to Putin before? Something's not right. And
and then also it's like, this man he's not American. That's off the top. He just told all Americans, he was like, look, they don't want to hire you at his companies and to bring you, because they want to bring in cheaper labor from out of the country. These people don't believe in us. He was just there for the ride. Imagine that. They don't want to pay you a living wage regardless, so they're going to ship people in from a different country. This man owns 2/3 of the satellites in the sky.
In the sky.
He has the Tesla. He has X where he can stop you from talking. He just did it to Laura Loomer because she was sunning him.
He's
Sunned him
making
good.
it so
She put the receipts out there. She was
putting,
like 70,000, huh?
He's putting chips in people's heads right now. Look at everything that he's doing right now. Look at how all this is starting to starting to come together. Look what he's doing over in Germany. Now he's back in the far right party over in Germany. You're not an American. You are a globalist, just as he said. These people right here are the people who we really need talking about him, because they're going to tell the truth. They're going to like expose things that we all may not even know. We've talked about this. Me and my host here talked about this stuff, but at the same time, it's a little bit different when you hear from Steve Bannon out of Steve Bannon's mouth, the person who you think would back this whole entire play up.
Steve Bannon rides for Trump. He went to jail because he didn't snitch.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Did time over that. I mean, on top of that, he went to jail also because he told everyone he was going to go ahead and donate money for a border, that he was going to build the border wall, and then he didn't do it. He stole the money. But I mean, he probably stole the money and gave part of it to whoever. I don't know. I don't want to say for sure, but then he wouldn't snitch about it at the same time where the money went. So at the end of the day, man, we have to watch this. This is kind of like I was talking to.
How much money was it? Like 24 million?
It was some bread, bro.
Think about it. How much was it? 24 million?
I don't know. I don't know how much it was. That
a couple million, right?
You know what I'm saying? It was some millions that they took. At the same time, I was talking to D-Mac. I was like, look, you remember, I think the movie was a Terminator. I believe it was. Correct? Where they had, what was it called? Was it Starlink?
No, Starlink is what he has right now.
Skynet. You know what I mean? So this is almost kind of gets to the point. And he was like, that was a military thing. But if you remember, this guy has a bunch of military contracts. In that same clip right there with Bannon, he talks about your whole wealth is wrapped up in government military contracts, all contracts from governments. This is why our government will not give you before he even became the Doge guy or whatever this is right now. His companies had government contracts. He couldn't even get government clearance, like high level clearance when he had those companies, because of the things he's doing. He's out here talking to foreign leaders, but he won't disclose what he's talking about to our government when we ask him. So there's something going on there. We can't trust this person.
He's in place now, but nothing has switched over power. But that's a dangerous man. Actually, you know what kind of movie it reminds me of? It's one of my favorite movies. I think it was Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
So in that movie, right, they Shield was already taken over by Hydra, because they brought over the Hydra scientists and they kept that little seed there and they rooted it through the whole thing.
I remember.
And they made these ships, you know what I'm saying, where they could go above everything. And they were going to monitor people. They're going to be like, well, this person could be an antagonizer, and the ships were supposed to go up and shoot everybody. It's going to kill like a third, or like maybe a lot of people on the planet.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember.
But think about it. This adds to it. Whose drones are those?
I mean, you look at it like this.
Whose SUV-sized drones are just flying around?
Who's going to have all the robots? Who's going to put chips in people's heads? I mean, like, we got to remember what's really happening here. We're talking about something at the beginning phases of this happening. But this is a very, 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 I don't think it's just him. I think he's just the face of whatever it is that's happening. I think he told it. What did he tell everybody? To go F your face?
Yeah, F yourself, and I'll go to war over this, these visas. This is what happens when a person comes into America.
You could never imagine, or something like that. But go ahead.
This is what happens when you sneak into America and you didn't really come here correctly. You didn't
Absolutely.
come through the proper channels. He should be deported.
His whole family. I mean, whoever, if he had kids here, they should be deported.
Everybody needs to get with the program right now. It's America first, off tops. That's what won the election. And I'm with that. America first. Those are our jobs.
I mean, and that's really what he's telling everybody.
No foreigner should be able to come in and take it, and no foreigner should be running our country like this.
What he's telling you guys, what he's saying to everybody, all of us, is this: if it works for me, if it's good for me, it's good for everybody. But if it's good for you, it's good for nobody. Because some of our cheaper labor may be things, little small things that we may have from day to day, like maybe getting our lawns taken care of, maybe getting our houses clean, or maybe being able to help with some construction projects that we have. Those are things that maybe help us when it comes to people who may not be able to go find a job that's going to have to pay them minimum wage. But for him, it's like, no, we're not getting rid of this program. These people work for me. I can get cheap labor out of them. So this is good for America. This is what we're going to do. I'll go to war and I'll stop you from, you know what I mean? So now he's willing to call you racist when he knows that this is what it was before. Now he's all of a sudden you want to call it out because and when you were participating in it, you were fine with it. When you were the person who was actually promoting it, you were fine with it. But now that it's for everybody else, the thing of it is, though, I think you guys are going to be really. It's like you're probably too embarrassed to say you were duped. When he came out and told you what he thought about you, let me tell you what I really think about you. You know what I mean? Isn't that what it's damn near like what Eminem said at the end of 8 Mile. Now tell everybody what I ain't said about.
Elon won't get the slide with this. I don't think true-blooded blue collar Americans will let him slide with that. I don't think that at all.
What are they going to
do? Didn't a handful of them just try? What are you going to do when somebody look? Check it out.
But he runs the president, though. It doesn't matter anymore. He's in there.
No, Donald Trump answers to the people. So check this out. Let me tell you something really quick. A lot of people they kind of underestimate the conservatives, Republican people. These are true-blooded white Americans. You know what I'm saying? People, other politicians aren't scared of Donald Trump. They're scared of the people that follow him. Yeah. Let that be known. They're scared of those people because those people will come to their house. Those people will shoot them at their job. Those people will blow their cars up. Those people are poisoning the water that's coming to their house. True. They have every facet of way to do something to you. And Elon Musk is a foreigner calling people stupid.
You just said the perfect thing. What did he tell everybody to do until the election? What did he tell the rest of the people running?
He told them to get offline.
So what do you think he already told Elon Musk to do too? Because what did Elon do? The last thing he came out with, oh, please, everybody, let's start talking more positively on this platform. That was the same call that he gave to them, but that was his way of getting it out without saying Trump said something to me to stop me from saying something. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Like that was already done. It was already cooked in right now. He's going to shut his mouth.
You're coming rich with power. This dude's
he's going to shut his mouth and he's going to play the game, but he's going to play the game. He don't have to talk. The power's already there. I ain't even got to talk.
No, but he wants the fame. That's why he bought X. That's why you only see his posts. That's why if somebody says something bad about him, you don't see it no more. I mean, if I owned it too, I'd do this. Actually, I wouldn't even do the same thing.
You're correct. He does want the fame. You're 100% correct on that. I agree with you 100% on that. It's like you said, he became drunk with power. He did. And at the same time,
he became drunk with attention.
And I think on top of that, if you look at what
it's attention.
Look at what Vivek Ramaswamy did. What did he do immediately? We need to get rid of affirmative action. He tried to shift the blame somewhere else. Oh, now Elon. Oh, we need to talk more positively. They're trying to shift it because they understand like you said, you're right. But at the end of the day, if they don't upset the they don't upset the waters too much, everything will go the way they want it to go. Yeah. The people will follow along with Trump because they don't want to look like they fucking been duped. They've all been duped.
Not on that.
You know what I mean? Not on something so big. Not on something so big.
You just fought to get your country back.
Not on something so.
Hold on. That was the vote. You voted to get your country back.
Yep.
Now they're telling you the other people get to have it.
And I'm willing to go to war for them. You're stupid. And you're dumb. You're brainless. You could never do these jobs. He told you who you are. He sat there. First, you guys all sat there and cheered him on and laughed at us and thought it was a joke. But you pretty much sold our country out again. This ain't the first time he did it. You did it on January 6th too, but you don't want to hear that part. So we'll leave that alone for today. But now again, you sold us out to a billionaire dude who's not even a billionaire, who took our tax dollars and bought the election pretty much. That's what he did. His companies would be defunct right now if it wasn't for our tax dollars.
You know what's crazy? I can deal with Donald Trump. We've been there before. Yeah. But I think as a collective, we need to get Elon Musk up out of here.
We're not dealing with Donald Trump. Donald Trump has shown us that he's going to capitulate to anything that Elon Musk said. Oh, I agree with Elon. First, he hated the program, the visa program during his last election. Now he came out in support of it. He's not come out against Elon runs, dude. Period. We haven't watched him walking around with Elon won't leave.
He said
you know why he won't leave? Because you're
immigrants.
Hey, what do you do when I give somebody my bread? You know what I'm saying? There's a whole lot of money. I ain't leaving either until I get what I'm supposed to be here to get. I just spent $250 on you and I cheated for you. Probably, you never know. I heard some things. Starlink is a motherfucker. Let's be real here. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna move on from this. We'll talk more a little bit about it. But you got a hell of a segment coming up next.
Yeah, I want to do this one. I'm going to read you guys a little piece here. This is a takeaway from the Associated Press's reporting on the prison labor in Alabama. Hang with me. I'm going to read an article, then I'm going to show you a video. I got it from Feminine off IG, so I just want to give them credit before I do. And so it says, the Associated Press found a part of a 2-year investigation into prison labor. The cheap, reliable labor force has generated more than $250 million for the state since 2000. Money garnished from prisoners' paychecks. Most jobs are inside facilities where the state's inmates, who are disproportionately black, can be sentenced to hard labor and forced to work for free, doing everything from mopping floors to laundry. But in the past 5 years alone, more than 10,000 inmates have logged a combined 17 million work hours outside Alabama's prison walls. For entities like city, country government, businesses that range from major car parts manufacturers, meat processors, Burger King, McDonald's, plants to distribution centers, and major retailers like Walmart, the AP has found. While those working at private companies can at least earn a little money, they face possible punishment if they refuse, from being denied a family visit to being sent to a high security prison, which are so dangerous that the federal government filed a lawsuit 4 years ago that remains pending, calling the treatment of prisoners unconstitutional. Turning down work can jeopardize chances of early release in the state. The last year granted parolee to only released in the state that last year granted parolees to only 8% of eligible prisoners.
Wow.
An all-time low and among the worst rates nationwide. Though that number's more than doubled this year after public outcry.
Wow, 8%, man. And they're going to sit back. Remember the sheriff who came out and said he doesn't want to release any more prisoners because what are they going to do for workers? This is crazy, man. That video that you have, man, really tells the story. Like, I never really, you've been saying this for quite a while.
I've been saying it for a while, and most people don't understand. Let me explain to you what I'm talking about here. So I'm going to read a part of the 13th Amendment in the United States Constitution, okay? So the 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution provides that neither slave nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for a crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. Now, if you listen to the close part, it says, except as a punishment for a crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted. So these people are good enough to leave the jail to go work at Walmart, McDonald's, auto parts places,
and they're not
giving them parole.
And they're making millions. I want you guys to remember, this is something that whenever they talked about like prison labor, I always thought about like chain gangs. So I was like, okay, yeah, they're making like, license plates or something like that inside the prison. I didn't think about it. But I remember back in the movie, it was the Shawshank Redemption, where they were building roads and helping people do that. And the guy would come in with like pies from his wife with the money underneath, and he'd give it to the warden of the prison. And didn't cross my mind to what it really was until I saw that video and you explained it to me. When you think about it, these people are actually being paid to send prisoners out to go work. Those prisoners, they're not getting that money. The prisoners aren't getting the money. Yeah. The prisons are. They're probably paying the prisoner 15 cents an hour, maybe $1 an hour. Wow, the whole dollar. That would be top end $1. That's like high pay. That's like if you go to prison, that's like you want that job right there. But the point of it is, though, it's crazy because they do that. They put people on community service, work crews, all kinds of stuff where they're making a lot of money off these prisoners, a lot of money. And this, and then like when you talked about it,
everybody the video really quick, and we're gonna watch it together.
Well, a lot of people are calling it modern slavery. Does that feel right?
I was just about to say that's slavery. That's slavery. You took away the whips, but you put the paperwork. Took away the masters and you put them in uniform. Same difference.
It kind of appears that there is a coordinated system in order to protect the labor that's created by the prison system.
Walk into a McDonald's in Alabama, and the worker flipping your McDouble could be an incarcerated person.
It's a sad situation, a way they getting rich off us.
The Alabama Department of Corrections farms out incarcerated people to work at hundreds of private companies and government agencies across the state.
McDonald's, Burger King, Golden Corral, Wendy's. They got a Wendy's contract right now. State Trooper's office.
They'll send everybody everywhere.
They'll send you everywhere. Yes, the parole office.
And even though ADOC...
And I just wanted to show you guys that.
Do you hear all those places they're talking about? They're sending people to go work. Imagine how much a minimum wage worker makes. They're making, I don't know, $500, $700, $1,000 a week, wherever, depending on where you live.
But they're not. That's the cool thing. They're not letting them out of jail.
And they're not.
You're safe. That's a halfway house. You're like at a halfway house at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like you go out to work and you come there and you stay the night. That's a halfway house. They're saying these people they're good enough to serve you food in case a screaming customer comes up there or something like that and yells at them. They're good enough. They can take that. They can handle that. but they're not good enough to be free.
And I mean, and in reality, you're already giving that person freedom by letting them go to work every single day. They could just leave that place. If they wanted to do that, this is not to say there won't be recidivism, there won't be problems, there won't be times where a guy goes off and something bad does happen. That's life. That's a lot of times what happens to us because we're not truly.
I mean, if you could make it out of Alabama, say you're one of those prisoners. You've been in jail. They're sending you out to do this. If you can make it out of Alabama and then like move to a sanctuary state and ask for sanctuary, you know what I'm saying? Think about it. If you came up to Washington and you're like, hey, I'm from Alabama.
They don't have extradition laws. It depends. If they got extradition laws, they're going to because you're in jail. They're going to extradite you back because they'll probably have, you know what I mean, like the sheriffs or whoever else, you know, bounty hunters come.
How are you going to put that on the news? Hey, inmate escapes. He didn't come back after his McDonald's job.
That's called escape, though. They'll still give you an escape.
They'll still hit you with escape, but you can ask for. These immigrants are coming in asking for, you should be able to ask for that.
Asylum. At this point in time, yes. No. At this point in time, though, that's what that is. That's exactly what that would be. That would be asylum because, I mean, they're using, he said that 8%, man. They said that's the lowest out of any other state. They're saying basically, you guys, we've already freed you pretty much and already to let you go work, but you come back here and sleep every night, but you're not good enough to go out and actually be completely free. Why? Why is it, though?
But
money.
Yes, it's money. They're making money, and why give it up? And then also, I was telling everybody, and it always runs back to the same thing. I said this makes sense about what they're going to do with all these immigrants because you can't deport them all at once. You can't just dip them and ship them that quick. I mean, you're going to get a system after a couple months. Yep. Yeah, you're going to have a good system of like kicking them and booting them, but that's not going to happen. They're going to take them, put them to work, make them work all in them same jobs. They're going to be all in them fields picking all that fruit. They're going to be doing the corn. They're going to be doing all that shit.
Yep.
All of it.
It makes perfect sense now. When you said it before, it didn't really make sense to me until I saw that. That video explained a lot for me to fully understand.
We need some people to work in our house. And if you come work in my house, I can have the board be lenient with you and probably let you stay.
I mean, it's the same thing, or you know what I mean, or at the same time, when you Shawshank Redemption, same exact thing. When you look at it, what he just said, that's the same exact thing that they can do there. You know what I mean? It's just it's a crazy time that we live in right now. This is something that we need to like stay on top of because that is crazy, man. And that they have 8%, man. They're only releasing 8% of these people who they're shipping out to work on a regular basis. The guy came out and told us. So who are we going to have do the jobs and who are we going to have work? It was crazy when he said it at the press conference. Yeah. Everyone was like, "You said the quiet part out loud," but in reality, he don't care.
He said it back then, but see, that shows our power because we ain't got nothing to say about it.
Absolutely.
We got all these southern states full of black folks. Look at Mississippi. It's the one state with the most black people in it.
Yep, by far.
Most black people in it.
Yep. I mean, so right now,
what is we doing?
Yeah.
What is we doing?
We're arguing about stupid stuff. We're watching stuff online. It doesn't make sense. We know what we're doing.
What is, you know what I mean? For real. Yeah. Just keep throwing it in the back of our minds. It'll get better. No, it won't.
Not until we change it ourselves. Period. Plain and simple. But I want to move on to this one right here. Donald Trump backs Mike Johnson to remain House Speaker. President-elect Donald Trump backed House Speaker Mike Johnson, Republican of Louisiana, in his campaign to hold on to the gavel, writing Monday on social media platform that Johnson has his complete and total endorsement. Speaker Mike Johnson is a good, hardworking, religious man. He will do the right thing, and we will continue to win, Trump said on Truth Social. Trump, who will begin his second term on January the 20th, with plans for a sweeping reform agenda focused on immigration and other priorities, urged his party to stick together heading into the 2025 election. Let's not blow this great opportunity which we have been given, he wrote. Johnson responded, promising to quickly deliver on Trump's agenda. The speaker's election is Friday when the new Congress begins. Days later, on January 6th, the new Congress is set to certify Trump's victory in the election. Trump's statement follows recent warnings that Johnson could face defections within his party in Friday's vote for Speaker. He can afford to lose only a handful of Republican votes, giving Republicans slim House majority. Republicans won a razor-thin majority in November with 220 seats. Since then, Rep. Matt Gaetz, Republican of Florida, has stepped down to pursue a cabinet nomination, which he later withdrew, bringing the number of House Republicans to 219. So this is a pretty big thing right now because this has been a chaotic point of contention for the Republicans ever since Kevin McCarthy, left, was basically booted out for not basically rolling over on Matt Gaetz and not letting Matt Gaetz get away with all the things that we're saying that he was not charged with, but allegations that were put out against him, paying for sex, paying underage girls for sex, doing drugs with them, paying for drugs, sending money through Zelle, a bunch of stuff that he was actually
he was weirdo
accused of. Yeah, basically super weirdo kicking it. I mean, with no problem, people, they have no problem talking about Sean Combs and saying something's going on with him. The guy who was accused along with Matt Gaetz is doing 11 years in prison right now. Wonder why Matt Gaetz isn't doing that kind of time. He actually has Zelle payments from his bank accounts directly to underage girls. You know what I mean? That show, what was the payment for? What are you paying this underage girl to do what? She said it was for sex and for drugs and other stuff like that. You were not just her, but you're paying other people for. This is what was going on. Was it across state lines? Was it sex trafficking? What's going on? But you know what I'm saying? So, but we have a person who's like Sean Puffy Combs, Diddy. He can't get a bond. Yeah. Why? Abercrombie and Fitch guy got a bond point. I mean, anyways, going back to the original thing.
And it's crazy. It's like I found this hard. It's like, according to the U.S. Constitution, each new session of Congress begins at noon on January 3rd in the House of Representatives. The first order of business is for the representative elect to choose the new speaker, who then swears in the newly elected representatives. For about 100 years, this step was just a formality, but experts have worried for months that Republicans are so divided, they might not choose a speaker in time to count and certify the presidential election results, which by law must happen on January 6th during the joint session of the House and the Senate. Lawmakers don't need to finish the certification on that day, but the process has to wrap up by noon on January 20th, when the Constitution says the outgoing president term ends. So that's why Trump's backing Mike John, or backing the dude Mike, because he's worried, because he's like, yo, this is the guy I want. Because if they're infighting, think about it, if they're infighting and they don't certify the election, they just did their own sets January 6th.
Pretty much. I mean, and bigger on top of that, he understands the I'm not going to say he understands.
Well, think about it. If it's so the 3rd is Friday. So the 3rd is Friday, right? So the 4th and the 5th are Saturday, Sunday. Are they going to stay there the weekends? Nah, they're going to come back on Monday. They might be talking on the weekends, but they're going to go do their own business. Let's see, make them work. So on the 6th is the Monday. So will they have it ready to go by Monday, or will they still be arguing over it?
I think that with this here.
Remember, they didn't vote McCarthy for like 3 days.
Yeah, I mean, even Mike Johnson, they were going back and forth with him for a minute too. They've been having a lot of times where they're trying to get him kicked out, but you got the whole Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't know if you want to call it the MAGA end of it, end of the party. I think this solidified that vote with them. Basically, when he went in and got, Mike Johnson has done some things, me personally, that have put America first. Like when he went and signed off on the money for Ukraine, like when he came in and raised the debt ceiling with the deal that he made just right here, he put the country above party in my eyes. I'm not saying that Mike Johnson's a great guy, because I think that going forward, he's pretty much signed it, kissed the ring with this deal he made with Trump right here to get this type of a ringing endorsement, because they wanted him out of here. Mike Johnson was not about to win this unless Democrats helped him win. Yeah. That's the only way that's the only way he won the last few times, because Democrats helped him win. Helped him basically stay speaker. They voted for him, because Democrats can get the vote for the speaker too. Everyone votes. Go ahead.
But also, it's like, someone talked about how Republicans, they have to also now look out for their future, because I mean, supposedly Trump's only going to do 4 years, right? So if he makes the America great, they can ride that out until the end of their lives. But if he fails and he makes it terrible, they got to think about what their political party and their brand is going to be after 4 years. So I mean, it's good. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to put the country over the party.
It's been chaos. I mean, every time Republicans have really run the country, especially under Trump, it's been chaos. Every time that we've seen anything, it's been straight
sweet, muddled chaos. American chaos. You know what happened when Trump left office? TV had to step their ass up.
Yep, they had to figure out how to entertain us. For the next 4 years, we're going to have some really good entertainment. It seems like right here. But I'm going to tell you something.
But it's going to be destructive. It's season 2, or it's episode 2, Revenge.
You know who's not going to have
of the Tan, for real.
You know who's not going to have a very entertaining time? The people over in Afghanistan. Taliban bans windows to stop women being seen inside homes. The Taliban have banned windows that look onto areas where Afghan women could be seen inside their homes. Seeing women working in kitchens, in courtyards, or collecting water from wells can lead to obscene acts, government spokesperson Mujid posted on X Saturday. Newsweek has contacted Afghan Minister of Foreign Affairs via email for comment. Basically, they're saying this right here, what they're doing right now in Afghanistan, as they're turning their women into, like, they've done it already, but in my personal opinion, they're turning their women into like 4th and 5th class citizens. They're basically saying women in that country can't even talk.
They're not even allowed to talk to each other. They're not allowed to hear each other. No, they're not allowed to hear each other's voices.
It's crazy, man. Like, they don't. What are we doing? Where are we at right now? It's like medieval, worse than medieval times. If you really want to think about it.
They're not allowed to see them, and they're not allowed to talk. All women, they're only going to be allowed to be abused by men and sexually assaulted. That's all. They have no voice.
Basically, you're here to make babies and to cook and clean, and that's it. I'm going to say this. I can fathom. I can kind of see where they're going. I understand. You look at certain societies and where,
bruh.
Let me finish. Let me finish before you jump into that. I'm not saying that I like what they're doing. My whole first statement told you guys how I really feel about it. That's the worst thing in the world you could ever do to your society, is get rid of a half of the voices, half of the brains in your society. That doesn't make sense. What I'm saying is, I see where they're going. They don't want their women, like, look at our society. Women are overly sexualized. There's a lot of they probably have a lot of rape and stuff going on in their countries too. Let's just be real. They can cover it up. They can hide it. You know what I mean? What they got going on. But I do see,
gets sexually assaulted and they find out, like, some countries, they beat the woman for it. Like, why'd you put yourself in that situation?
All I'm saying is, I see that with them being more of a religious-based government, I see where their minds are. That doesn't mean I agree with you. Just because I can understand you doesn't mean I agree with you at all. Just so I can look at a person like, oh, I understand why you robbed that bank. You think I agree with you robbing that bank? No, but I know you broke, and so you're gonna go rob a bank. Okay, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, that's all I'm saying. I don't agree at all with taking your women or taking your men or taking anybody and making them 4th and 5th class citizens and not letting them speak to each other. Like, that's crazy to me. That's
and the way there's no uproar here from America is kind of, telling in itself. But I mean, like, we're not that far off of getting these crazy laws. They remember that with the law in Florida,
Factual.
What they had to get, like, what was it, 60% of the vote?
Factual.
They could, you had to get 60% of the vote to keep abortion on there.
60%.
Stacked it on, and they got 55.
Think about this, man.
The law still passed, but it didn't pass. No, they got all the votes, but it didn't pass.
The majority did not rule. The majority did not rule. They wanted a super majority in order for it to rule. You made it impossible. Basically, like, hey, I think they might even got 59%. Something crazy.
Something crazy.
You know what I'm saying? They were right there to get it. I mean, just something ridiculous. Like, you need a super majority if you want to be able to do what a simple majority should be able to do any other time. Look at our country right now. If a woman has a miscarriage and they don't know really how it happened, they can charge you with murder. Let's not act like we're not already here.
Yeah.
We are these people. We're just not saying you can't talk to each other about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Pretty much. You know what I mean? That's the way this is who we are as a whole. But
and then let me do this one really quick. I got new Oklahoma law says students can't graduate from high school until they're accepted into college or trade school or the military.
These guys, man. I ain't ever moving down south. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Yeah,
I like
crazy.
down south.
According to Oklahoma City Fox 25, high school students must now either be accepted into a college, a trade school, or join the military to be able to graduate. This is all because of a new initiative from the Oklahoma governor's Kevin Stitt. And on X post regarding the decision, Schiff stated that his goal was to turn classrooms into career launch pads. He said, for expanding apprenticeships to higher education, we want to prepare every student for success in the workforce. It's just a little quickie what I wanted to do, man.
He's crazy, bro.
He's nuts.
He's crazy.
He's nuts. And you have to do this. Think about it. What if you just want to graduate and bounce?
He's telling you this is mandating. They're mandating things. This is what goes on down south. You guys talk about freedom. You guys are we're American freedom loving Americans. No, you're not, man. No, you guys are the most restrictive group of people there is, period.
They're putting the 10 Commandments in the school. You see that.
Come on, man.
They're forcing the kids to learn Bible lessons in school. This is America, bro.
No choice for women.
Yeah.
Come on, man. What else? I think was it Oklahoma in the state where they told them, like, was it Mississippi? One of the two were like, oh, you didn't get these in quick enough. We can't put that on the ballot for this
and how do you even get out of that? They're probably going to make you start the trade school while you're in school.
Imagine the communities.
I would take trade school and bounce. Like, you're not going to tell me what to do.
What if they don't have enough for certain communities? What if they don't have enough trade schools? What if, you know what I mean? Or well, you got to go to the military then. You're creating a military as a forced option.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Conscription? What are we doing here?
Crazy.
That's nuts,
That's
man.
nuts. Think about it. If you can't afford college, you ain't smart enough for trade school.
Okay, so no.
You going to war.
So say this. So say the trade schools are full with the kids who are in the better schools. We all know where those schools are probably going to be at. You know what I mean? So now the kids who aren't in those schools, oh, there's no room for you in college. You're not getting into college. You don't. Obviously, your education level is not good enough. Oh, secondly, you're not getting into trade schools because the other kids already filled them up. We already filled those up with the kids who already probably got trade schools and things like that inside of their schools because they can afford to have stuff like that in there. Oh, so where are you going to go? Inner city kid? We're sending you to the military.
Got to go to war.
Oh my God, bro! This is what their thinking is, man. And if you guys don't wake up and start smelling the coffee and seeing what's going on, it's up to you. But
yeah. And then I got my last one, man. I want to do. I think we can wait and do another episode later.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we got you. Yo, uncommon courtesy. We're gonna see you next time.